From Memorial Park in Cinnaminson, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting presents the play-in round of the Tri-County Baseball League. This evening, it's the Blackwood Bears and the Cinnaminson Crew occupying the 4th and 5th place spots in the South Division. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dan Wilkins. It is a wonderful, almost California-like Monday night here in Cinnaminson, Burlington County, as the Bears and the Crew face off for our first playoff game in Tri-County action this year. This is our 4th season covering the Tri-County League, and no different, it's the 4th season covering the playoffs. But what's different this year is not that Cinnaminson has a home field opponent in the wild card round. It was the Pine Barrens Phantoms in the same green and white jerseys that came up to Cinnaminson last year, with Cinnaminson taking the win with L.C. Smith on the hill. This year it's a little bit different, though. It'll be Connor Hafto for Rutgers Camden, the Washington Township alum, who is on the hill for Cinnaminson tonight. Meanwhile, another Rutgers Camden alum is on the hill for the other side in Blackwood in Gavin Cunnard, the longtime closer who has been known for his, let's just say, eccentric walk-up music. He plays some death metal coming out to the mound. I don't know if we'll hear it tonight, but Gavin Cunnard is a pitcher that really should keep Cinnaminson at bay tonight. I do expect tonight to be a low-scoring game between this Blackwood and Cinnaminson team. A Cinnaminson team that was 3-10 as of July the 1st, and then 7-12 at the end of the regular season. In the words of Ryan Horner, their player-manager, they got hot at the right time, and that's exactly what they were looking for. The top 4 seeds in the Tri-County got a first-round bye. That ended up being the Grizzlies, the Gartons, CHBR, and Pittman. They all ended up getting out of it. The number 5 seed, the Washington Township Senators, they host the Burlington Township Pirates, the 12 seed, tomorrow night. Then, tonight, tomorrow night, and if needed, Thursday, and Wednesday, pardon. And then the third and final round of wild card, play-in round, whatever you want to call it, is Camden, the Camden Reds, and the Pine Barrens Phantoms. So the way it will work is that it is a best-of-3 series for all 3 wild card matchups, whether it's Blackwood, Cinnaminson, Washington Township, and Burlington Township, or if it's Camden and the Pine Barrens. The difference is that Game 2 will be at the road team's field. So for tonight, regardless of if Cinnaminson wins, they'll have to travel down to James Atkinson Park, which is actually located in Sewell, for Game 2 of this series. And then if it goes to a Game 3, the series will pivot back to Cinnaminson, and it'll be played on Wednesday night. But here's what's at stake. Cinnaminson's trying to get ahead in the series. They're trying to start off their playoff run by taking the momentum that they've had from the regular season and keeping it afloat here in the middle of July. But it's a beautiful night, just shy of 80 degrees here in Cinnaminson, not a cloud in the sky, and barely a breeze to be seen here. So it's going to be a fun night. Cinnaminson and the Blackwood Bears coming up after the break. Welcome back from Memorial Park. Your starting pitcher for the Cinnaminson Crew will be Connor Hafto, the right-hander out of Rutgers Camden, who was a Washington Township alum. He comes into this game with 18 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs total for a 0.75 ERA, a 1.23 whip, 7 walks, 21 Ks, has not allowed any hit batters or home runs. He has 5 appearances on the year and a 1-2 win-loss record. For the 4-14 and 11 seed Blackwood Bears, their starting lineup, led by field manager Ryan Austin, will be Matt DiMatteo, the shortstop out of Camden County College, to be followed by Nicholas Narwald in left field, Anthony Verdecchio, the DH, J.D. Wilson at third, and the first pitch of the ball game is low. We are underway. 7:01 first pitch, 82 degrees at first pitch here in Cinnaminson. The rest of the lineup, Camden County's own Eric Berger in center field, the Overbrook grad. This ball is popped up third base side. Horner calls for it, and he'll make the catch for the first out. Looking at the rest of that lineup again, 6 through 9 will be Magic Mears at first base, Aiden Milligan, the catcher, another Camden County College alum, or product, I guess you could say. Samuel Oliver in right field, Luca Marinucci at second base, and Gavin Cunnard is your second baseman. So one away after the pop out to third, and this will bring up Narwald, the left fielder. Ball one. The last time we were here in Cinnaminson was also for that play-in round game this time last year versus Pine Barrens. That one skips back. 2-0. Narwald batting .375 in 8 games this year, 9 for 24, 5 RBIs, 2 walks, and an .819 OPS, .375 slugging. Time is called at the plate. Hafto ready. That one is low again. So we got that early pop-up, now concerned with control in the zone, as he's thrown 3 balls, and all of them have been either low in the zone or in the dirt. Narwald takes a strike there. Good to play it safe on 3-0. And in the on-deck circle, as we said, Anthony Verdecchio, as there's ball 4. 5-pitch walk puts Narwald on base. So here's Verdecchio out of Ryder, .389 hitter, 7 for 18 in 6 games. 5 RBIs, 2 of his 7 hits are extra base hits. No walks or hit by pitches, though, so .889 is his OPS. He also has 3 2/3 innings on the mound for Blackwood this year, as there's a strike called. Popped up. Sounded like he might have broken the bat. It goes out towards first. Did he come in and grab that? No, he did not, and it's 0-2. I had to reserve my judgment for a second because the Cinnaminson dugout reacted like he had made the catch, but Carl Wisman did not hop over that 8-foot fence. And the 0-2, runner goes. Ball pops out of the glove. The ball misses outside. It's 1-2. So I apologize. Hafto is a Gwynedd Mercy product. Ryan wrote down on his lineup that he was from Rutgers Camden, but he is a Washington Township grad. Just finished up his sophomore year there, as there's a line drive in the left field, a base hit for Verdecchio. Coming around third, taking a big arc around it is Narwald. The throw is off the line. That's an RBI single off the bat of Verdecchio, and it is 1-0 Blackwood. A 1-out knock in the top of the first. So an RBI base hit will bring up J.D. Wilson with a runner on first after the knock by Verdecchio. First pitch outside. Wilson, a .316 hitter, 6 for 19, 2 walks, 1 stolen base, .725 OPS. Also has 1 inning on the mound. Blackwood 4-14 going into this game. 4.5 points behind Cinnaminson. The only team with a worse win-loss record than them was the Burlington Township Pirates of the North Division, which were 3-17 with 14.5 points. That one is low. But Blackwood's 4 wins this year. I mean, listen, they have played some great games against great teams. Just their second game of the year on June the 2nd, they fell to the South Jersey Grizzlies, but only by a score of 2-1. And there's a strike called. And don't forget that Blackwood did beat Cinnaminson when Blackwood was the home team back on June the 16th. It was an 8-inning final with Blackwood winning 9-8. Kennard also got the win in that game, as that's foul. Count is 2-2. Verdecchio on first. One away with Wilson the batter. Blackwood's most recent win was on July the 14th. They picked up a 6-inning win over the Rough Riders, a team that was a top 4 seed, as that'll be ball 4. And now Horner going out to the mound to meet with Hafto. But like we were saying earlier, this is a Blackwood team that really doesn't exemplify a 4-14 team. I'm pretty sure it was last year we covered Blackwood in their play-in series versus Vineland, and Vineland won 8-0, and it didn't really seem like Blackwood was anything more than just standing in the way. This feels different. They've already got a run in. They've got 2 on and only 1 away. And the batter will be Eric Berger. He's got a younger brother, Tyler Berger, also goes to Overbrook High School, which has had their head coach, now former head coach Greg Himes. He's actually sat in with us a few times as a guest commentator. That ball floated in the left by Berger. It'll be caught. Now here comes the throw back to second, and it's in time. Double play. Talk about a way to get out of the inning quickly. Waldron came running in to make the catch, and the runner from second was caught off guard. He ends up reeling it in. What an unusual play, but it's enough to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Blackwood 1, Cinnaminson 0. Gavin Kennard is your starter for the Blackwood Bears. Gavin Kennard. I was corrected on that. It's a 3.35 ERA for the right-hander, 23 innings in 5 appearances this year. He has 11 earned runs, 11 walks, and 32 strikeouts, so he's got a 1.57 whip and 15 total runs with 25 total hits. Your starting lineup for the Cinnaminson crew, led by player manager Ryan Horner. Matt McCloskey in center field. Aiden Meredith is your second baseman in the 2 slot. Noah Waldron, the Collingswood grad, is in left field batting third. Carl Wisman is the first baseman batting fourth. Ryan Horner, the manager, bats fifth in the third base position. Tyler Johnston, the Haddon Township grad, is in right field batting sixth. It's Felix Melendez at short batting seventh. Jackson Peacock behind the dish batting eighth. And Charles Neal, the DH. Strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Cunard is known for his breaking ball variety. He was like that at Rutgers Camden. He was often their closer during the 2023 and 2024 seasons. And he's got a very 1980s style windup, as you can see there as he fouls it back. His front leg goes all the way back when he gets into his delivery, and it reminds me a little bit of a mix of Kent TeCulve and Dan Quisenberry, except he's not getting his hand that far low. You know, it's almost like a, what's his face? I can't remember his name now, but you can see that his leg goes really far back, and he just kind of spreads wide when he makes that delivery as a pop-up to short as the first out in the bottom of the first for McCloskey. And it'll be Meredith, the second baseman now. Meredith of Utica University batting .300, 12 for 40, 7 RBIs. He has 13 walks on the season. As there's a strike called. And like I said, there's that first pitch slider again. There are not a lot of players who will dare go for that ambitious of a breaking ball on the first pitch, but I think Gavin Cunard's one of those guys that's just not afraid of anything or anyone. Is the 0-1. Another breaking ball, just misses off the plate, 1-1. Again, Meredith having a great eye for the plate this year, walking 13 times in 40 at-bats. That gives his on-base percentage 164 points over his batting average, 464 OBP with a 300 average, as there's a strike called, 1-2. It looks like a sinker ball that time. Yeah, but it is interesting seeing Cunard in this starting role as compared to what he was with the Scarlet Raptors as a ninth-inning reliever. As there's a strike 3 called on a fastball. Meredith goes down on strikes, and there's 1 away. 2 away, pardon, for Waldron. Waldron, a .392 hitter this summer, 20 for 51, 9 RBIs. He has 1 home run. I have to imagine it's at this ballpark with the ultra short porch in left field here at Memorial Park. He has 20 stolen bases out of the 3 slot, as that one is low. 963 OPS. This field that Cinnaminson High School has played a handful of night games on. They normally play at a field with a temporary fence back at the high school that we've covered a handful of games at. 1-0 from Cunard. Another slider catches the zone, 1-1. Carl Wisman in the on-deck circle, the Bishop Eustis grad. Waldron, one of 13 players on this Cinnaminson roster to hail from Gwynedd Mercy University. And that is no coincidence. That is the same college that the player-manager Ryan Horner plays at after graduating from Cinnaminson in 2023. Handful of Utica guys, 2 of them in this lineup, and a Stockton product in McCloskey in the leadoff spot. This one's tapped to third. It's foul. 1-2. But 6 out of the 9 players hailing in the starting lineup for the crew are coming from Gwynedd Mercy. So definitely a strong connection coming from Ambler to Cinnaminson. As the 1-2. Slider called on the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cunard, and the inning is over. Blackwood ends the first with a 1-run advantage. We go to the second. Blackwood 1, Cinnaminson 0. Welcome back. Top of the second inning here from Memorial Park. More specifically, Memorial Park Field 7, as that one is low to Mears. To the first baseman, it's 1-0. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Blackwood in the top half of the second inning. Mears, Milligan, and Oliver. 2-0. Blackwood struck first in the top half of the first, an RBI single by Verdecchio. They left two runners stranded, though, after a line drive to left field. Got a double play for Cinnaminson. That one is also low, 3-0. So Hafto allowing 2 walks in the first inning, trying to avoid a third here for a Cinnaminson team that really can't afford to go down in an upset in game 1 of this series. Remember, the biggest thing that pivots a series, in my opinion, during this wild card round is the fact that the 3 games flip-flop between the 2 teams. So tomorrow's game will be in Blackwood's home park, as this one skips foul, goes over towards the fence. It's 3-2. So Hafto, good job coming back from the 3-0 count, getting 2 fastballs for a strike, and the second one for a foul ball off the bat of Mears. Aiden Milligan, the catcher of Camden County College, is on deck. Ground ball out to second base. Picked up. Throw to first is in time for Meredith, and there's one away. And those are at-bats that, as a pitcher, you don't feel great about it, but you got the job done. You know, you would have wished that you didn't get behind in a 3-0 count, but it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. He was down in the count 3-0. Gets 2 straight fastballs for strikes, 1 called, 1 foul, and then gets soft contact to get the ball to his infield. As there's a ground ball hit sharply to short, picked up, that throw to first. Good stretch by Wisman. First base umpire says he got him, and there are quickly 2 away. And that's a great example, if you're Hafto, that you can't really let things like that linger. You know, he had a bit of a topsy-turvy first inning, and now he comes back, has a strong at-bat for the first out, and gets the next guy in Milligan on the first pitch. Now you've got Sam Oliver to attack in right field. Strike called outside half. 0-1 to Oliver in the 8 slot for Blackwood and Ryan Austin's crew. Well, I guess the crew are the home team, not their crew. I call everybody their crew. All right, his entourage. There you go. Check swing. Almost apologetically got a piece of it, and it's 0-2. Oliver batting .423, 11 for 26. 7 RBIs, 3 extra base hits. Hafto looking for a clean second. He's ready. And a breaking ball hit back towards the middle. This is going to be a tough play. Sliding stop, and he can't get there. It'll go into center field. It's a 2-out base hit for Samuel Oliver, as Melendez put up a strong effort but just couldn't get there. So the 1-2-3 campaign for Hafto goes out the window, and he'll now have to face the number 9 batter in Luca Marinucci. Marinucci out of Eastern University, another one that's out of state but close to home, just outside of the Philadelphia area. There's a pop-up foul. First base side over towards the softball field, and it's out of play. 0-1. Marinucci batting .242, 8 for 33, 615 OPS. He's walked 4 times, 2 RBIs in those 8 hits as a throwback to first, not in time. Close call. Another throwback, not in time. And well, if this was Major League Baseball, he'd be out of disengagement by now, but no such thing here in Tri-County. From the stretch, strike called. In the bottom of the second, it will be Wisman, Horner, and Johnston. After Cunard set down the crew, 1-2-3. That one's high, just above the letters, 1-2. Just a beautiful night tonight here in Cinnaminson. You know, we've had days where it was 100 degrees, and we've also had days where, you know, it was unbearable wind or unbearable heat. This, despite all the bugs, it's a pretty good place to be. 1-2, 2 outs, runner goes. Fly ball popped up to left center field. This will go to the edge of the grass. It'll be caught by Melendez, and the inning is over. So Hafto allows a hit, but nothing more. We're through an inning and a half here in Cinnaminson. 1-0 Bears.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside.
It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Doubleheader reached first on an error in the first at-bat of Game 2. This one's lined into center field. Slider going over. He dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Ryan Slider makes the catch. Not on a slide, but instead on a dive. 2 away.
Bottom of the second inning here from Cinnaminson. You're watching coverage of the Tri-County Baseball League play-in round on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about tonight's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. Cunard, first pitch. Slider just missed that time to Carl Wisman, the first baseman. 4, 5, and 6 for the Crew, Wisman, Horner, and Johnston. Wisman, the Bishop Eustis grad. And that is Carl with a K. Don't get it confused. That ball's laced into left center field. It's hit pretty deep. Going back. It is caught in left field by Narwhald. That ball looks like it had some good power to it, but instead gets out to straightaway left field for the first out in the bottom of the second. So here is Horner. When we saw Cinnaminson last, which was a week ago versus Cherry Hill, the Cherry Hill third baseman, Horner was playing second base and batting 10th. So I don't know if that's how it was all year, but he's batting 5th now and manning the hot corner, as he did for many years over at Cinnaminson. Here's the first pitch. Good frame from behind the plate. That catches the zone. It's 0-1. I feel like that's a good indicator, a good litmus test for how pitchers and catchers are working together. When not only is the pitcher's breaking balls working well, but also when the catcher's got a good frame job from behind the plate, really able to move that glove in a snap motion. A dribbler in the center and another catch made by Berger. So they are not going to make it easy for fly balls to drop tonight. But the catch is made for out number 2. 5 up, 5 down to start. Here's Johnston, the Haddon Township grad. Catcher sets up away, and the slider misses. I mean, almost every at-bat so far, Cunard's thrown a slider on the first pitch. Again, I said that in the very beginning. You do not see a lot of pitchers who do that because, again, it's an ambitious pitch. But there are some pitchers where the breaking ball is their primary bread and butter. He's long forgotten now, but if you remember Alex Claudio when he was in Milwaukee and Texas and the White Sox, he had a release that would basically release the ball from right where his belt was but he would have a slider and a circle change as his 1-2. I don't even think he had a fastball. Maybe the most he had was a sinker that would top out at like 85. And, of course, a lot of old-school relievers were like that. But it's so much more interesting to see it out of a guy who's starting this game in Gavin Gunnard. 2-1. Sinker, some great movement on it, and it catches the inside corner, 2-2. We'll be back at the top of the lineup card in the top of the third for Blackwood. It'll be Matt DiMatteo, Nicholas Narwald, and Dervecchio, who had the RBI single, the only offense of the game so far in the first inning. The 2-2. Tapped out to second, picked up. The throw is high, and did it go out of play? It looks like it did, and it will. So that must have gotten out right where the fence goes from a heightened area to a shorter fence. That'll be Cinnaminson's first base runner, and it'll be a good question to see whether or not they scored that as a hit or an error. But it'll be Melendez now. I would personally put that as an E4 in my book, mostly because the second baseman had time to get there. Johnston probably wouldn't have been safe at first, and if he was, it would have been a very tough sell to have him safe at first base. So, in my opinion, I have that as an error. And that's part of the reason why I explain why I score the game the way I do, because there's, especially during the high school season, maybe the college and the post-college crowd is more educated on the game of baseball, but if you're just a parent watching the game and you're like, well, why would you call that an error? My kid should have a hit, or, my brother should have a hit. Well, there's a reason why, and part of it's because the second baseman had a decent play. It didn't look like he would have been safe if that play went to plan, but he overshot Magic Mirrors at first base. And it's a plausible E4 because he overthrew him. Now, if that was a play where he was running in on the infield grass and it had to basically be horizontal to make the throw, then you've got a discussion. But that ball rings off the Cinnaminson dugout, and it's quickly 0-2. As we said, 1, 2, and 3 due up for the Bears in the top of the third, DiMatteo, Narwald, and Dervecchio. But a beautiful night here in Cinnaminson. Lots of folks from both sides lining the grass near the dugouts. Although they haven't turned on the lights yet. Somebody might have to get to that soon. Especially if we're going to play more than 3 innings tonight here at Memorial Park. No balls, 2 strikes. Gunnard delivers. Slider. Hit into shallow center field. Berger's going to have another tough play. He'll make the catch. Second time in as many at-bats that Berger comes in. He comes racing in from center field, and he makes the play. We're through 2. Cinnaminson leaves the runner in scoring position, and it's 1-0 Blackwood. Welcome back to Memorial Park here in Cinnaminson. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on their first attempt. You can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, New Jersey at 614 Lambs Road. Connor Hafto still on for the third. We've got 1, 2, and 3 for Blackwood in a 1-0 game. Matt DiMatteo, Nick Narwald, and Anthony Dervecchio has a swing and a miss on appears to be an off-speed changeup. Gets DiMatteo to come out in front as he wavers on that one early. It's 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Straight fastball that time. If you're a small business owner interested in advertising with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we offer affordable packages that get you maximum exposure for South Jersey advertising in all 7 South Jersey counties. We have over 150,000 annual viewers on YouTube with over 200 live broadcasts in multiple different sports at the high school, collegiate, and amateur level all year long. You can send us an email with an advertising inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. We have over 10,000 social media followers, and we are basically the same as buying out a TV ad in NBC Sports Philadelphia or whatever you want to call it. You know, that's basically how we work around here, as there's a strike called. Hafto picks up his first strikeout, and there's one away. That's the best way I can explain it. You know, we work with a handful of different businesses down in South Jersey, and the way I like to say it is that if you want to get your business maximum exposure to a lot of different areas, our pride is that we cover a lot of different games in a lot of different places. You know, we're in Cinnaminson tonight. We might be in Washington Township tomorrow. You know, we might have a game in Cape May County next week as a fly ball to right center field. Johnston comes up with it, ranging to his right, and there's 2 down. So yes, join the DWB crew today if you're a small business owner. That's the Dan Wilkins Show at gmail.com. Here's Verdecchio. He had the RBI single to left field in the first. Check swing, he went 0-1. Here is that base hit from the first. Your replays presented by Harper Driving School. Another strike called, and it's 0-2. 1-0 Blackwood, top of the third. And a ground ball to third is foul. But Hafto's done well ever since giving up that first inning. You know, we call it first inning jitters sometimes, where a pitcher doesn't really have his best stuff in the first, but then if he can get over that hump, he's really able to get himself settled in as quickly as possible. And that one's inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count is full. This will be a good comeback from 0-2 for Verdecchio. He'll set up J.D. Wilson if the inning continues. Hafto ready, and that is low. That skips away, but the catcher Jackson Peacock comes from it. So here's J.D. Wilson. He walked in his first at bat. I think the biggest thing for Blackwood here is not getting content with that 1-run lead. Like we said, Cinnaminson is a team that got hot at the right time as another base hit falls in the left field. So J.D. Wilson attacks on the first pitch. And that is now the 3rd hit in as many innings for Blackwood. Now Eric Berger is the batter. But again, when these two met in the regular season, they split the season series. Blackwood won 9-8 in their first matchup. That gets to the backstop. Both runners will advance on the wild pitch. So Eric Berger ahead in the count 1-0. That ball's popped up back behind the plate. Look out, that one's headed our way. It bounces off the tree branch, and it lands maybe 5 feet from me. We've had foul balls come our way before. Had one at Highland Regional High School earlier this year where pop-up was coming, catcher was going back, and I had to move my hand out of the way because I didn't know if the ball was going to hit my hand or if it was going to hit the equipment, and it landed maybe a foot from where I was standing, and I just let it go. Should I have tried to catch it for the highlight reel? Probably, but I was trying not to break my hand. Ripped foul, look out. Whole bunch of flying lasers tonight. It's 2-2. Cinnaminson did win the second matchup between these teams on July the 8th. That sent them to a 5-10 record. They won 9-2 over Blackwood. Waldron went 3 for 3 with 4 stolen bases in that game, because that one is low. 3-2. So Hafto, the former Gwynedd Mercy product, who will be leaving many of his Gwynedd Mercy teammates that are on the bench right now, but for the summer they can at least play together some more as he makes his trip to Rutgers-Camden. The 2025 NJAC champions. There's a swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball by Hafto. He gets Berger to chase, and he gets out of the jam. 2 runners left on, a single and a walk give Blackwood some life, but nothing more. We go to the bottom of the third. It's the Bears 1 and the Crew 0. Bottom of the third inning. Cinnaminson looking for their first run, but no longer are they looking for their first hit. That ground ball by Tyler Johnston was somehow scored as a hit and an error. So it is a strike called. I mean, maybe that's a little bit harsh. I think that it was enough ordinary effort by the second baseman that he just overthrew it. But they gave it a single and an error. The strike called. To be fair, it is kind of the best of both worlds. You know, the second baseman still gets charged with the error because he did mess up the play, but the batter doesn't get, in some eyes, unfairly punished. But you move on. It's 0-2. Cunner delivers. Breaking ball outside. But hey, everybody scores the game a little bit differently, and I've had so many times where I've had to. We had an instance this year where we did a game at Overbrook High School, and I wasn't sure about a hit or an error on a fly ball as strike 3 swinging from from Peacock. So this brings up the 9-hitter in Charles Neal from Camden Catholic. Cunard with 3 strikeouts so far. And another slider called for a strike, 0-1. But the great thing about baseball is that you can look at the exact same play from 2 different angles and come up with different conclusions. I think football fans also had that discussion if you're a Cowboys fan with the Des Bryant catch as the 0-2. Sinker outside, 1-2. Neal and McCloskey. McCloskey, the Cinnaminson grad in the on-deck circle, one of 3 Cinnaminson grads in this lineup. So, chopping up and subdividing this lineup a little bit for Cinnaminson, you've got McCloskey, Horner, and Peacock, your Cinnaminson grads, and then your 3 through 7 guys and your 9 batter are all Gwynedd Mercy players. That one is shot foul on a half swing. Still 2-2. Waldron, Wisman, Horner, Johnston, and Melendez, all a part of the Griffins program. Outside. I don't know what that sound was, but I think it was coming from inside the Cinnaminson dugout. I only say that because our field mic is pointed right there, and it's going right into my headset. So the 3-2 is outside ball 4. Baseball players are the funniest people, aren't they? It's outside. Neal reaches base for Cunard's first free pass of the night. 1 away, 1 on. Back to the top of the order for McCloskey. He popped out to the shortstop in his first at bat. First pitch from the stretch. That one's high. McCloskey, Meredith, and Waldron. The throw gets away at first base. It's going to go down the right field line, and Neal gets in standing at second on the pickoff attempt. That will turn into an E1 against the pitcher, Cunard. Stepped off before the pitch. Missed. 2-0. So runner in scoring position, a base hit can score the tying run in the bottom of the third here from Memorial Park. Inside, 3-0. Here at a ballpark that's 295 feet down the left field line to the foul pole, but also with a Fenway-esque monster in left field. But even Fenway is still, I think, 310 down the left field line. And I think to the deepest part of the park, it's 418 to right center field. Not here at Fenway. That one's outside. And a 4-pitch walk. Got runners on first and second. The 9-hitter and the 1-hitter both reach on free passes. They're Cunard's first and second walks. And now Ryan Austin will come out and meet with his pitcher in Cunard. I mean, talk about a momentum shift. You talk about Blackwood holding all the cards here in the third inning, and then 2 straight walks, one to the 9 guy, one to the leadoff guy. That changes your dynamic a little bit. Now you're getting into the meat of the order with a lot of leverage. And if you're playing a game of poker, you've got a good amount of cards at the table right now. Speaking of poker, we're going to be in Atlantic City Friday and Saturday. I don't know why I segued with that, but we'll be in Atlantic City for Friday and Saturday for the South Jersey NABA All-Star Games. The Midweek Division All-Star Game will play on Friday night at 6 o'clock from Pop Lloyd Stadium. And on Saturday, we'll have 4 games, all from Surf Stadium in Atlantic City. The first game will be the A Division starting at 9. The AA Division will start at noon. The AAAs will be at 3, and the Elite Division will play at 6 p.m. Again, all from the famous Sandcastle, former home of the Atlantic City Surf. From 1996 to, I don't even remember when, I think 2010, with when they stopped playing there, or when they stopped playing in general. They were a part of the Atlantic League. Cunard steps off, whips the ball back to second. Cinnaminson was trying to leverage for a balk there, but didn't get it. 2 on, 1 out. You're at a crossroads here. Time called by the batter. Meredith is having somewhat of an argument with the home plate umpire. I think there was a confusion about when the batter was set. Yeah, I'm not sure what the argument exactly was, but it was something about the batter maybe not being ready when he was set. It's inside. One ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Meredith struck out swinging his first at bat. Waldron is next. But again, you're at a crossroads where ground ball here can induce a double play, but line drive could maybe tie this game up. Swing and a miss. He got him. Great way to come back in that at bat. Cunard strikes out Meredith. It's his 4th of the night. And there's 2 away now for Waldron. Again, when these two last met, Waldron was 3 for 3. He had 4 stolen bases. So it's not crazy to say that Waldron could get the bats going for Cinnaminson. I mean, Ryan Horner was in that dugout after the inning saying, hey, we got to get something going here, and that's very true. You know, you can't afford to go not only down in this series, but down in this game as well, because Cinnaminson will have to travel all the way down to Sewell in Gloucester County on Tuesday to play Game 2. No matter what happens in this game, they'll have to play in Blackwood tomorrow. But Blackwood not only plays in another town, they play in another county. Their home park is James Atkinson Park in Sewell. Right around the Washington Township area, across the street from the Hollydale Ice Arena, where we've done many broadcasts for Gloucester Catholic ice hockey. Misses. 3 balls, no strikes. Two on, 2 out. Blackwood 1, Cinnaminson 0. That ball is a strike called. It's 3-1. Runners on first and second for the Crew. As the pitch to Waldron is, look out. That one's fouled back. Hit off the pole and careened back onto the field. So another good comeback in the at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Connor delivers, and it's fouled back to the right side. Look out. Almost hit somebody down there. If the inning continues, Carl Wisman, the first baseman, will be next for the Crew. He stands in the dugout in lieu of an on-deck circle. The 3-2. Popped up over to second base. This is going to be a tough play. Going over to first, Mears makes the play, and he makes the catch to keep the Crew off the board for yet another frame. We go to the 4th. It's Blackwood 1, Cinnaminson 0 here from Memorial Park. Top of the 4th inning, it's Blackwood 1, Cinnaminson 0 here from Memorial Park. I'm Dan Wilkins of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting as we've got a strike called to Mears. It's 6, 7, and 8 in the 4th. It's Mears, Milligan, and Oliver. Curious when they're going to turn the lights on in this place. It's 7:54, and somebody hasn't gone over to the generator yet. There's a strike called. We had a football game one time. It was maybe the biggest football game we had covered up to that point in 2024 between Cherry Hill East and Washington Township. It was the South Jersey Group 5 quarterfinal round. And in that game, we were in the press box and we were on the air for the national anthem. And in the middle of the national anthem, there were coaches from the visiting side that came in and they wanted to make the press box brighter. So they start flipping all the light switches in the press box, and little did they know that 2 of the light switches that they had flipped down because they didn't know where they went to 2 of the 4 light towers that brought the LED light onto the field. So while this singer, who I think was a freshman or a sophomore at Washington Township, you know, probably somebody under a lot of pressure with thousands of people watching, as a pop-up behind the plate, Peacock goes for it. He calls off his pitcher. He'll make the catch. Oh, no, he did not make the catch, and it hit his glove, so it's a fair ball. That ball hit Peacock's glove while it was in fair territory, so that will be a fair ball, and it'll be an error against the catcher as Mears reaches. So it'll bring up Milligan now with a runner on first and nobody out. But the good thing is for Hafto, that won't be charged against him, but it'll be an error on the catcher. But anyways, so this singer is singing the national anthem, and I can't imagine what it looks like to be in the middle of the field in front of several thousand people during a high school football playoff game, and then seeing half of the light towers just shut off right next to you when they're not supposed to do that. So if you know anything about these kinds of lights, and I'm sorry, they weren't LEDs, as I mentioned earlier. They were regular light towers like these. If you've got to turn them off, you know that it takes a while for them to turn back on again. So the game that was supposed to start at 7 and was already running late ended up starting 45 minutes late, And we were on commercial break for most of it because we were just like, we had never seen anything like this before. Somebody came into the press box, wanted to make it a little bit brighter, so they started messing with all the light switches for I don't know what reason, but they turned off, incidentally, half of the light switches on the field. And then it ended up being a 35-7 game anyway, so it didn't matter. Floated into center field. That's a base hit for Milligan. He's now 1 for 2. That puts 2 on with nobody out here. An error and a base hit. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow if Blackwood can get ahead here for Cinnaminson, especially with that pop-up behind the plate. We will have a courtesy runner at first base. Believe that is Kal-El Singh at first, which was a incredible ball player at CCTS. He stole over 150 bases in his 4 years there. And when I last checked, he was playing at Penn State Abington. As here comes a bunt back to Hafto, throw to first, is in time. Moves both runners over. Although I find it interesting that if you're going to run a guy like Kal-El Singh, why are you running him as the back runner? I mean, I understand that you can't pinch run for anybody at any time, but my thing is that I would have waited to put him in the game until he was the lead runner. You know, put somebody else in over first and save his energy. But again, he's a part of that niche of baseball players, of base running specialists. There's a line drive. That is brought in quickly by Melendez. Very nice catch. And there's 2 away. And that sun is not too far over the horizon of the trees to our right. So Marinucci retired, and now the first pitch floated in the left field, going over is Waldron, and he will make the catch. So for the second time in as many innings, Blackwood leaves 2 runners on base. They've now left 7 runners on in 4 innings. Definitely a lot of offense that is left astray here this evening. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Blackwood 1, Cinnaminson 0.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
Carl Wisman leads us off in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 4, 5, and 6 for the Crew, as it's Wisman, Horner, and Johnston. 1-0 Blackwood we do have a score update in the 5 versus 12 game. It'll be Washington Township over Burlington Township, 5-0 in the 5th inning in favor of the Senators. Don't have an update yet on the Camden Reds and the Pine Barrens Phantoms, as there's a strike called. 0-1. That game is the, I believe it's the 7 and 8 game, or that doesn't sound right. Well, this would be the 11 and 6. So it would be 10 and 7. There we go. Because 12 teams, there are 3 play-in round games. Cinnaminson actually finished the regular season within 1 point of Washington Township. There's a ground ball to third. That'll be stopped, and a high-arcing throw is high, and he is safe. He got in there. How about that, Carl Wisman? What a play to get around it. That'll be a throwing error on the third baseman as he got carried away. We're going to get a discussion here about maybe whether the runner was out of the baseline. We'll take a look at it while they look at it. They'll say he got in there. Let's take a look at the replay presented by Harper Driving School. So this little ground ball to third, I mean, it was a high throw, and the throw gets away, but, I mean, he does pivot to his left, but I don't think that there's any argument to say that he interfered with the play there. I think that he was just trying to avoid the tag. I do think that that's a play where, depending on what angle you've got, maybe it could be looked at a little bit differently, but I think that's the right call to put that runner on first. That is a strike called. The 1-1. That one is up and away. Horner, the third baseman, flew out to center field in his first at bat. The 2-1. Strike called, 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. That's strikeout number 5 for Cunard. And there's out number 1. Here is Johnston, and hey, there go the lights. They finally turned on the light towers. Although it's 8:05, so maybe they were just sitting on a timer and they turn on at 8. I was getting worried about it for a second. We've had games before where, you know, we were told, oh, we're going to go play at this field at this time and we're going to have lights, and then they just didn't have lights for the game. Oh, that one's fouled back. That hit Milligan in the mask, and he'll take a second to readjust. And that's always a good gesture by the umpire whenever a catcher gets hit, is that you walk the ball back out to the pitcher and you give him a couple seconds to regroup. Because that can rattle you. That can rattle you a good amount. So the home plate umpire doing a good job there of walking the ball back out. You know, or sometimes you'll dust off home plate or do something like that. Just make sure the catcher's okay. I know if our good friend John Galante saw that, he would definitely have a good word for it. This is just common courtesy, you know. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Johnston reached on a hit and an error off the second baseman in the second. Flied out to shallow right field. This is brought in for a catch. What a play. Bringing it in for out number 2. I mean, talk about putting yourself on the line there. It's Oliver who makes the play. So Berger's had 2 nice plays, and now Oliver picks up a nice grab for the second out in the 4th. Strike called to Melendez, the 7-hitter. Runner gets a good jump. He goes. The throw to second is not in time. A stolen base for Carl Wisman. And again, Waldron has been the stolen base guy on this team. He's got 20 of them this year. But Wisman picking up a swiped bag over at second. The 1-1. That one is low. 2-1. Connor doing well tonight. He's held Cinnaminson off the board, and they've held him to just 1 hit. And even that wasn't, a black and white play. Swing and a miss. Two to Melendez. That one is grounded sharply to short. Picked up. Throw to first is low, but it's in time as Mears picks it up and gets the scoop to end the inning. We go to the 5th. Blackwood still ahead thanks to the 1 run they scored in the top half of the 1st. We're now through 4, and the score hasn't moved a single inch. It's 1-0 Blackwood. Connor Hafto still on here in the top of the 5th as he faces Nicholas Narwhal to lead off. I mean, hey, no reason not to have him still out there. He's done very well. He's had 4 innings to this point so far, 1 strikeout. The big thing for him, though, has been getting out of jams because Blackwood in 4 innings have left 7 runners on base, including 3 out of 4 innings where they've left 2 runners on base in this contest as it's 1-0 to Narwhal. 2, 3, and 4 for the Bears. Narwhal, Verdecchio, and Wilson as that ball's cracked out to third. Horner picks it up on the run. He takes 2 shuffles. Throw to first is a bang-bang play, but it's in time, and that's out number 1. So here is Verdecchio. Had the only run of the game, had the only RBI of the game. RBI knock in the top of the 1st. Oh, it's fouled back. 0-1. Blackwood coming into this game 4-14 in the regular season. One of their 4 wins came over Cinnaminson. They split the regular season series with the Crew. When Blackwood was home, they won the game, their first game 9-8 in an 8-inning walk-off. And look out, we've got a scramble of the parents down the right field line as a foul ball came their way. They tell the kids to bring a glove, but the moms and dads should bring a glove too. Be prepared. There's a dribbler to second base. Picked up. Lollipop throw to first is in time from Meredith. And there's 2 away.
Zion, just put it in there.
Hafto's first pitch fouled. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow, but to tell you the truth, we don't know where. We've got 2 other Tri-County Baseball League play-in games. There's the Camden Reds and the Pine Barrens Phantoms, and there's also the Burlington Township Pirates and the Washington Township Senators. But to tell you the truth, we won't know where we're going to be until we find out the scores of tonight's games. If we go to Camden, it'll be a 7 o'clock first pitch at Rutgers-Camden's athletic complex, the famous field beneath the Ben Franklin Bridge. And if we go to Burlington Township tomorrow, that'll be at Ed Varick Field in Burlington Woods Park. Takes a pitch high and away, grounds it to short, and it'll go into center field. Base hit with 2 outs for J.D. Wilson, who's gotten a piece of Hafto a few times tonight. He's now 2 for 2. As he's now had a walk and 2 hits.
If you want to go talk to them, go on the other side.
Hafto, first pitch. Fouled back, and it's 0-1. Right to me. It's a good thing there's a fence there, isn't there? If I keep doing broadcasting for 10 or 15 more years, I'll learn not to flinch, but there's a strike called. It is a natural instinct, after all. Berger calls time. He's 0 for 2. Lined to do a double play in the first. Struck out swinging to end the third. And he's going to look to avoid not only going 0 for 3, but ending 3 straight innings. It's somewhat of a sinking feeling as a batter to be that third out so many times, as that one's inside. 1-2. That one is cracked into right field for a base hit by Berger. It'll be picked up. Here comes a rocket from right field by Johnston. Horner's got the tag. He's safe. He got in there. Horner went with the runner full speed. Home plate umpire made the play at third. That is a base hit for Eric Berger. We'll take a look at it, but it's going to be runners on the corners now with 2 away for Magic Mirrors. Here's the first pitch. That one is low. Runner goes to second. He'll get in there without issue. After this pitch, we'll take a look at the replay of the play at third. Not that it matters now, but we'll take a look at it for the sake of showing a replay. That one's low. Here's your replays presented by Harper Driving School. And this was a tough play here. You got that line drive to right field. And then Johnston set up a beautiful throw. There's a strike called. Let's take a look at it one more time. Gonna slow this down. I mean, he's coming in standing there. Ooh, not sure. That ball is lined into center field for a base hit. This will score a run. Throw to the plate. They're going to hold that second run. Hafto cuts it off. It's an RBI single for the first baseman, Mears. And that play at third turns out to be heavily consequential as it's the first sign of offense for the Bears since the first, and it's an RBI two-out single that makes it 2-0 Blackwood. It's just one of those things where baseball can spiral out on you sometimes. You had 2 outs. It's a play that was a bang-bang play over at third. And then Mears ends up making him pay for it with an RBI single. That's 3 straight hits for the Bears. But it's a sign of the times changing for Blackwood because remember, like we said, in innings 1 through 4, including the run where they scored 1, they've left 7 runners on base. And if they had left those 2 on, it would have been number 8 and 9 for the Bears.
Someone's mad.
So they really just found a way to finally get something going. I mean, in a game that's been as low scoring as this, 1 run is going to do a lot more damage in the scorecard than you think. It's not like the first time these 2 teams met where it was 9-8, or the second time where these 2 met where it was 9-2 in favor of Cinnaminson. So you just have to consider that, you know. A 2-out rally. This team is spirited. This team is trying to upend a Cinnaminson team that, again, they've been very familiar with being divisional rivals. As the 1-0. This ball is lined. That's going to get through into left field for a base hit. An RBI single for Milligan. That's 4 straight singles for the Bears. Runner scores Berger from third. It's runners on first and second, and it's now 3-0 Blackwood. No movement, though, from Ryan Horner, the player manager. There is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. So not only is it back-to-back hits, it's back-to-back RBI hits. As you could say, the hits keep on coming. It's ball 1. Oh. 3-0 Blackwood. This ball is grounded out to second base. Meredith has it. He does not decide to attack the runner and instead makes the play at first. But it's 2 runs for the Bears as they score 2, but again they leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's the Bears 3 and the Crew 0.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Blackwood added on 2 more runs on 4 hits, a stretch of 4 hits in a row to make it a 3-0 ball game. And here in the bottom of the 5th, we'll see 8, 9, and 10. It is Jackson Peacock, Charles Neal, and Matt McCloskey for the Crew. I almost said the Cinnaminson Reds, but that's the funny thing is that I have to remind myself that the Cinnaminson Crew and the Cinnaminson Reds are two completely different franchises with two completely different managers. The only thing that they actually shared, funny enough, is that they actually shared a home field. They played at this field, but Cinnaminson, the Crew, took over for the Cinnaminson Reds at the end of the 2024 season. And this is their second year in the league. There's a strike called. 1-2. For Peacock, who's 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in his first at bat. Cunard ready. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Chases it low. He'll have a throw to first. And it's in time with Mears taking it in with that glove pop. And there's one away. So here is Charles Neal, the DH. Cunard doing an excellent job, even though Blackwood has had 3 errors. He's only allowed 1 hit, and he has struck out 6 batters so far. One is up and away. Neal walked in his first plate appearance. He advanced to second on a throwing error, but did not advance further. McCloskey walked in that inning. He has only allowed 1 walk. There's a strike called. Like we said, Blackwood's responsible for 3 errors. 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. All on the infield. 1 on second, 1 on third, and 1 on the pitcher. Slider runs in, 2-1. Like we said, tomorrow will be either at Burlington Township and Washington Township. That would be at BT at Ed Varick Field, or we would be at Camden Pine Barrens at the Camden Athletic Complex. Here's the 2-1. That one is low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here at a wonderful place to be, Memorial Park. Definitely an underrated venue here in South Jersey for high school and college baseball. It's a fastball right down the pipe, gets a strike called. It's 3-2. I would honestly prefer for Cinnaminson High School to play all their games here. I mean, I understand it's easy to play the games on campus, and I don't know how far this is from the actual high school, but the 3-2 is a swing and a miss. He got him. Neal goes down on strikes. That's 7 for Cunard. And there's 2 away. And it'll bring up McCloskey, the center fielder. By the way, a couple defensive changes for Blackwood. It'll be Kal-El Singh out of Penn State Abington in right field. Eric Berger, he's in center field. Eric Berger moved from center field to right field. And Luca Marinucci returns to the game at second base. So kind of unfortunate, though, that Samuel Oliver, who had that fantastic sliding catch for one of the outs in the fourth, being taken out of the game here. But I understand in this situation you want the speedster in Kal-El Singh. Jam shot foul. 1-1. I understand that Cinnaminson does play a night game or 2 here per year. Kind of like your senior night or whatever, but there's not too many high school fields that have dedicated lights. Vineland does at Vineland North Field. Eastern does at Joe Hartman Baseball Diamond, named after the legendary coach Joe Hartman, that is also the namesake of the Joe Hartman Diamond Classic. The illustrious and, at this point, really all-reaching and all-inclusive South Jersey baseball tournament. Oh, that one got him in the shoulder. McCloskey didn't have time to react. And he'll head down to first after 2 strikeouts by Cunard. And it'll be a 2-out base runner for Cinnaminson. This will bring up Meredith. First pitch to Meredith, who's got 2 strikeouts today. He's 0 for 2. Outside, 1-0. Cunner delivers. Sinker gets in there, 1-1. Top of the 6th for Blackwood. It'll be 9-1-2. Marinucci, DiMatteo, and Narwald. Blackwood brought 7 men to the plate in the 5th. They had 4 hits, all singles, and all in a row. That one's away. 2-1. But again, already in the bottom of the 5th here, not making too bad a time about it. But that's the kiss of death, isn't it? 6th and 7th inning will take an hour each. Be out of here at 10:30. That one's outside. Back pick to first, a smooth back pick, and I don't even think McCloskey saw it coming. He came back in at first, and I don't think he even saw that Mears had the ball. That was a really close play, and that would have been a unfortunate of all unfortunate ways for an inning to end in a game where Cinnaminson just hasn't had their luck. They've had line drives that have been reeled in. Their outfield has been incredible on the defense as the throw to first is in time. Play is made by Marinucci, and the inning is over. So Cinnaminson leaves another on, but no hits for them in this inning with a hit by pitch. They're still looking for their first hit since the 2nd. They've got a lot more concerns, though, as they'll go to the 6th. It's Blackwood 3, Cinnaminson nothing. Top of the 6th inning, a new arm on for the Cinnaminson crew. It is Luke Barrett, as he replaces Connor Hafto after 5 innings, where the 5th really wasn't one to remember, but he's out of the game now after 5 frames. He struck out 1, gave up a total of 8 hits, 1 in each of the first 4 innings, and then 4 in the 5th, all in a row, and that allowed 2 runs to score for the Bears. A whipping breaking ball on the slider, misses outside, 2-1. Barrett, the right-hander out of Utica University, 14 2/3 innings for him this year in 5 appearances. 4 earned runs for an ERA of 1.91. He's got a .214 batting average against and a 1.36 whip. He's walked 8 and he has struck out 13 in his relief appearances this year. 2-2. Fastball grounded to third. Horner's going to have a tough play. He can't get there. Deep in the hole at short. The throw is going to one-hop, and it will not be close. It's an infield single for Luca Marinucci. Will bring us back to the top of the order for Matt DiMatteo. I think if Horner gets to that ball, he is a shot. But once that ball got through the third baseman and he had to leave it up to Melendez, there's only a couple of shortstops ever that have an arm that strong to make a play like that and to have the composure and the balance, not even the physical balance, but the mental balance as well, because you obviously have to keep yourself upright. It's not an easy play by any means, and he was able to get in there as it misses inside to DiMatteo. Like we said, Seng is into the game for Oliver. Was in right field, moved to center. He will hit in the 8 slot. So we'll see him if Blackwood strings together a couple more base runners. That one's outside on the fastball. But Cinnaminson, more than ever and more than anything, need some offense, and they need the defense to hold it down here. That might be the most obvious take you're ever going to see on 3-0. Not leaving anything to the imagination, but that pays off as it's ball 4 to DiMatteo, the Haddon Heights grad. It'll be a walk and a hit against Barrett. And that's not really what you really wanted out of the first 2 batters and a guy that's directly succeeding the line of Connor Hafto. You know, you really wanted a guy with a sub-2 ERA to come in and really shut the party down. You know, Blackwood has a lot of the momentum. Their dugout's excited, and they're trying to take advantage of a kind of repressed Cinnaminson dugout that has been looking to get themselves back into the game, again, both physically and mentally, as a strike is called on the bunt attempt by Narwhal. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Showing bunt again, did not offer. 1-1. Barrett ready. Narwhal pulls back on the bunt, but it's a called strike. Pardon, 2 balls, 1 strike. Narwhal 0 for 2. He bunts this one back in front of the mound. It's cut off. The throw to third is in time. Talk about heads-up baseball. He gets the lead runner on the throw by Wisman. That negates the sacrifice bunt. And it will be a 3-5 fielder's choice. You don't see that every day. It puts Narwhal on first, DiMatteo to second, and Marinucci, the lead runner, is out. But again, in a playoff atmosphere, can really do anything you want to get that lead runner out. I mean, because if you concede that lead runner, let's be honest, that's really what they were looking for. That's what they wanted. You took away that path of what they wanted. Takes the ball that time, 2-0. But Barrett's been having some of the same control issues that Hafto has had, as that one's high, 3-0. Let's take a look again at this play. And he shows bunt. This one goes right back in front of the mound. You can see Hafto doesn't realize that Wisman's coming in. He makes the throw and then gets the out at third. Really impressive play as that one misses. It's ball 4, 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. And what a shame here. I mean, Cinnaminson 3-10 entering the month of July. They were starting out so hot. They had a 9-game losing streak and then riffed off a 4-2 record in the month of July. And like we said, it's off the glove of Horner. It trickles down the left field line. Scoring is DiMatteo on his horse's Narwhal. The throw misses the cutoff man, and it gets away. It hits off the fence. Runner's going to get to third. 2 will score on the RBI single off the bat of J.D. Wilson. He's now 3 for 3. He finally deposits his first runs batted in, and it is a 5-0 Blackwood lead. I mean, listen, sometimes you have to take the wins when they're handed to you like that. That's a line drive. Cinnaminson's been making those plays all night. They've been clean in the field. And that's just the unluckiest of unlucky breaks. Takes a carom off of Horner's glove, goes down the left field line. Again, talk about an unlucky play. As there's another strike called, 0-2. I think if Blackwood wins this game, you've got to have him as your player of the game candidate. That one's away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Berger. He is 1 for 3, but he's had some great defensive plays in center field. He's now in right with Kal-El Seng in center. That one's away. Again, for the Camden County College grad who graduated from Overbrook High School. His younger brother, Tyler Berger, just graduated from Overbrook as well. There's a swing and a miss. He got him. So Barrett getting back into the rhythm now, as after 5 straight runners reached, and one of them was retired on a fielder's choice, he finally gets a batter out on his own volition. And it's out number 2 for Magic Mirrors. And that's one of the things where when they just keep putting the ball in play, you really don't know how to change it up to make it definitive. Because, again, baseball is such a mental game. And when you don't have it, and when you are in a situation where batter after batter is hitting the ball, they're hitting the ball hard, they're getting the ball down, you know, you might say, well, do I switch up my pitch mix? And then they do something else. And do I just throw inside or outside a little bit more? Then they keep doing the same thing. You keep going through these mental gymnastics while you prepare. As this one's popped up back behind the plate. And it's somewhere. That one landed somewhere in Burlington County. We're not sure where. It's 2-1. In the bottom of the 6th for the Crew, it will be 3, 4, and 5, Waldron, Wisman, and Horner. This ball's cracked into center field by Mears, sending McCloskey back, and he'll make the catch. The inning is over, but a 2-run single off the bat of J.D. Wilson gives him his 3rd hit of the day and gives Cinnaminson an even deeper hole to climb out of. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 6 outs remaining for the Red and White at home. It's 5-0 Bears.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Blackwood 5, Cinnaminson 0. You're watching coverage of the Tri-County play-in round here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We've got a good ball game here. Blackwood 4 runs in the last 2 innings. They've scored 2 in the top half of the 5th, 2 in the top half of the 6th. And now Cinnaminson down to their last 6 outs. They're going to try to get these bats going, and they're going to try to get them going quickly. It's 3, 4, and 5, Waldron, Wisman, and Horner for the Crew here in a 5-0 ball game. Cunard's still on as there's a dribbler. This is hit tough. Oh, and he couldn't get there. It'll be a base runner for Cinnaminson. It'll be a base hit. His shortstop just couldn't come up with that one in DiMatteo. And Waldron picks up Cinnaminson's second hit of the game and their first since the second inning. So they've had 2 hits now, and both have been on infield dribblers. So it has not been easy for Cinnaminson to put the bat on the ball with the guy that has a ball that moves so much like Cunard. I mean, you have a great arm when you've got somebody that can move the ball away from the hitter's side and into the hitter's side. That's why the relief pitchers of today are so much more successful, because not only do they have pitches like that, but they also throw 100 miles an hour. You know, you look at a guy like Mason Miller for San Diego. He can strike you out with a 103-mile-an-hour fastball, but then he can also get you with a slider that's just like the pitch that Gavin Cunard just threw, something that runs into the hitter. But then you have a pitch like that, even though that was a ball, where the intended movement was away from the hitter, but the ball ends up moving on the inside part of the plate. So you get this double standard, or I guess you could say double action, where the intended movement of the ball is away from the hitter, but it ends up hitting the inside part of the plate. So to the hitter, it looks like it's going to run further inside than it is. And then it moves back in, and he ends up getting the inside part of the plate. But it's 3-0. It's the second hit of the day for Cinnaminson on that ground ball to short. It was a tough effort by DiMatteo. As the 3-0. There's a strike called. Popped up, first base side, or third base side, pardon, it's foul. And Cunard now coming back from a 3-0 count to make it a full count to Wisman. The player manager in Ryan Horner is on deck. The Gwynedd Mercy product, throwback to first, not in time. Like we said, this might as well be called the Cinnaminson Griffins for how many Gwynedd Mercy players are on this team. 13 of Cinnaminson's 26 rostered players, that's half, are Gwynedd Mercy products. Also a handful from Utica. 6 out of the 9 in the starting lineup tonight are Gwynedd Mercy products or Grags. There's a ground ball in the right field for a base hit. If there was any doubt about the first 2 hits, that takes it away. It's back-to-back knocks as Wisman gets it on the ground pull side. And Horner now bats with Cinnaminson finally having something to cheer for here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And remember, this isn't like a regular season game where you can just try to swallow your loss and, you know, get yourself to avoid a shutout. This, you need a comeback for this, because if you go back to Blackwood tomorrow night, or I shouldn't even say Blackwood, the game's in Sewell at James Atkinson Park, that's going to be a really, and I mean really tough situation. There's a strike called. Horner didn't like the call. I don't know if he didn't like the check swing call or if he didn't like the strike, but either way, it's 0-1. Horner's 0 for 2. Fly ball to center field in the second, and he struck out swinging in the 4th. Cunard ready, looks back at second, kicks and delivers. This one's back to the mound. It's into center field for a base hit for Horner. Ground ball from third. Scoring is Waldron. Cinnaminson is on the board. It's 5-1. It's one way to get him back. And now Ryan James coming out. Ryan Austin coming out. That's 3 straight hits, and it's the first sign of real adversity that Cunard has had tonight. And that was a good piece of hitting there as they go out to talk to him. Cunard will stay in the game. Let's take a look at that RBI single. Your replays are presented by Harper Driving School. This line drive back up the middle from Horner. That was a weird dribbler. It looked like he might have gotten it on the inner side of the bat. Like he didn't barrel it up at all, but came in and he scored, and there you go. 2 on, nobody out. Cunard facing Johnston, the right fielder. Cunard's first pitch runs inside. And I think this is a warning sign for Blackwood. You know, how much can you ride with this pitching depth? I mean, they're a 4-14 team, but again, they have played very well versus some of the league's top talent. But losing by 1 run or losing by 10 runs still holds the same weight as this ball's jammed into right field. This is going to be a tough play for Berger, and he missed it. Berger missed it in right field. Here comes Wisman. The throw is away. Runner goes to second, and Horner's at third. It's 5-2. I think Berger just straight up missed that ball. He never touched the ball, so that's an RBI single. That's now 4 straight hits. So Blackwood had 4 straight hits in the top of the 5th. And now Cinnaminson returns with 4 straight hits in the bottom of the 6th. So this is going to be interesting. It's 5-2, and it's now Melendez. Breaking ball, called a strike. That's been Cunard's bread and butter tonight. For a guy, again, that when he was in college at Rutgers-Camden was almost exclusively a 9th-inning closer for the Scarlet Raptors. And now going into the starting role with the same versatility, the same abilities. This has been really interesting to watch this guy start. I mean, if you remember, even Mariano Rivera had 10 starts for the Yankees in his rookie season in 1995. As the 0-2, there's a swing and a miss. So that takes a little bit of wind out of the sails, but it's not enough to completely sink the ship yet. As there's one away. Here's Jackson Peacock from Utica University. Another Cinnaminson grad, one of 3 Cinnaminson Pirates in this lineup tonight with Horner and McCloskey. That one is low. Again, another breaking ball on the outside for Cunard. He's done that very well tonight. Although he's mostly thrown that first pitch against righties. He hasn't really thrown that first pitch slider to left-handed batters as much. There's a strike called. Now he's done it in other junctures of the at-bat to all shapes and sizes of batters. But he specifically to right-handed hitters has not thrown that first pitch slider as often. So it'll be intriguing to see how he can go here. And if he throws another slider, does Peacock try to go the other way? He does. It's in the shallow right field. It'll drop on the edge of the infield grass. Horner will score. Stop sign at third. It's an RBI single for the catcher Peacock, and it's 5-3. 3 runs in the inning. And when will Ryan Austin pull the plug? Is he going to go out or not? Yeah, they're going to. Magic Mears is going over. That's 5 hits in the inning. Bat to ball has been huge, and the tying run is on base. Again, we thought J.D. Wilson had maybe the dagger in this game in the top of the 6th inning, but now this is entirely turned on its head with Peacock floating that base hit in the right and scoring Horner. Again, the stop sign was put on at third, but you've now got runners on first and third. Now, your counter to that is that there is still a double play ball you could have if Neal goes to the right side of the infield. Or even if he goes to the left side of the infield and he finds, something on the corner. There's a swing and a miss. 0-1. And this is a get-back at bat as the ball gets away in the infield, but it's quickly cut off by Marinucci. That was close. But it's also good that Cinnaminson didn't jump the gun. They didn't want to get themselves ahead. But this has been a fantastic ball game so far with Cinnaminson coming back now after being down 5-0 just in the top of the inning as this one's fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes, 5-3 game in favor of Blackwood. And Ryan Austin, the manager, on the edge of the Blackwood dugout. Outside. One ball, 2 strikes. Johnston on third, Peacock on first. Strike, 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts at the 8 and 9 slots in the order. And there's 2 away. In the 7 and 9 slots in the order. Well, even though it was a strikeout, and now it's Kennard's 8th of the day, this is not going to be a lost effort by Cinnaminson. I mean, you've got now the 8th batter of the inning, 5 hits in 6 batters, all singles. There has still not been an extra base hit in this game. All 8 hits that Blackwood have had and all 6 hits that Cinnaminson have had have all been singles. So it has been a game that has been based on fundamentals and being in the right place at the right time. Nobody's launched a ball over the fence yet or that Fenway short porch in left field. This ball's popped up foul, first base side. And we are out of baseballs. Somebody's got to go get one. Well, there's no freshman on the team where you can go have a designated foul ball runner, but somebody's got to go grab one. Watch him foul it out of play on this pitch. Oh, foul tip. But he backs away, and it's 1-2. If the inning continues, it would be Meredith next. He is 0 for 3. In the top of the 7th for Blackwood, it'll be 7, 8, and 9. Milligan, Sang, and Marinucci in place of Oliver in right field. Chopper foul, and it's 1-2. 3 runs across in this 6th inning. 5 hits for Cinnaminson, pardon. And Gavin Cunard, for a Blackwood team that's only won 4 games this year, trying to stretch this start out as long as he physically can here in the wild card round. That one is high. I mean, it's very difficult for a pitcher to give up a stretch of 5 hits in 6 batters and then come back out and strike out Charles Neal. I mean, that's not easy. But now you're at the top of the order with the tying run on first base. And this one's popped up. Out to second base. Marinucci goes over, and he makes the catch. So it's a win-win. 3 runs for Cinnaminson. They're back in the game. But Gavin Cunard does what Ryan Austin asks of him, and he gets out of the jam. 8 batters come up to the plate. 3 runs score. Meredith, the only one not to grab a bat. We go to the 7th. It's Blackwood 5, Cinnaminson 3. First pitch of the 7th misses inside. This broadcast is brought to you by the South Jersey chapter of the National Adult Baseball Association. Over 20 teams across 4 highly competitive divisions. As there's a blooper into center field. It'll be caught by McCluskey, one away. The All-Star games are this weekend in Atlantic City, but don't forget, registration for the fall season of 2026 is now open. Visit South Jersey NABA, N-A-B-A, for registration information. I mean, hey, I play in South Jersey NABA. Am I good? No, but I play. I've had about 5 at-bats and 1 hit, which I guess means I'm batting 200, but still. The one guy I got a hit off to was Billy Keene. He's throwing like low 80s for the D3 guy, former Pittman High School guy, graduated from there and pitched at Rutgers Camden. I think I literally closed my eyes and swung. We were losing 12-1. Once fouled back, takes a carom in the trees. Luckily, nobody was standing there, but also means that fall has started early because a couple leaves just came crashing down off the branch. Kickstarting the autumn season. Speaking of the autumn season, high school football starts on August 28th for us. Going to be a really fun high school football season for us. Can't wait to bring that schedule to you soon. With our 35-game slate. That one's fouled back. 2-2. Sang in his first at-bat of the night, like we said, the CCTS grad. Known for his speed. Out of Penn State Abington. Stole over 150 bases in high school for CCTS, one of the most prolific base stealers in the state. And there's strike 3. Sang thought that was ball 4. Disagreed with it, but it is strike 3 for Barrett. That's his second strikeout in an inning and 2/3, and we now go to the 9-batter in Marinucci. First pitch. Breaking ball misses away, 1-0. But Cinnaminson all of a sudden has a chance now. They were down 5-0. It didn't seem like there was any life for Cinnaminson. They were quite quiet. They were reserved. And now they have a reason to celebrate because it's 5-3. They had 5 hits in the 6th inning, all singles. This one's fouled back. Like we said, every hit in this game has been a single. Blackwood with 5 runs on 8 hits. They've had 3 errors in the field. Cinnaminson has had 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors in the field. But again, out of those 14 hits, all of them have been single base hits. Throw to first is in time. And here we go. Get your popcorn, folks. Cinnaminson's got a chance to come back in this game. In game 1 of the Tri-County Wild Card Series, it's Blackwood 5, Cinnaminson 3, going to the bottom of the 7th. Jersey is the number 2 seed. As we said, they beat Manville 19-0 in the first round, which was even larger than Audubon's 16-0 win over Paulsboro as the 1 seed in the first round. That one's hit out towards center field, straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field. Now this one's got a chance to be 3 bases for Spire. She's flying around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off a semifinal with an inside the park home run. Emma Spire, who will take her talents to the Great Danes after 2026, lights up the scoreboard with a fly ball that got misjudged in center field. Ugly to end the day for Luke Pokrovsky. Little pop-up, first base side, he calls for it, and for the first time in 33 years, the Charlotte Cougars will hoist the trophy and face Middlesex on Monday. 4-3. Cougars win it. And in the battle of green and gold, the trophy stays true with the visitors. What a finish. And Shalleck will pack their bags for Middlesex and the Blue Jays when the weekend turns around to Monday. And Argabright with a full count. Outfielders in communication for the Quakers. Everyone's looking around. In a tie game, Bottom of the 6th. The 3-2 payoff. Ground ball. It's going to get over the head of Tolbert into left field. That's a base hit. 2-run score. Argabright delivers when asked. 5-3. Alex Argabright has given the Golden Eagles a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Let's go, baby.
Bottom of the 7th inning here from Memorial Park in Cinnaminson. It's 5-3. Cinnaminson got the gears turning with a 5-hit, 3-run inning in the bottom of the 6th. And now the wind really picking up here at Cinnaminson. Unfortunately for the Crew batters, that wind is blowing in. But here is Meredith, the only batter not to hit in the 6th, with an 8-batter frame. And it's a 2-run game. And Gavin Cunnard going for the complete game. I am really surprised by this. But Blackwood might also be insistent on saving their pitchers for tomorrow when they have the home game at Atkinson Park. But this game feels like it's been more of a roller coaster than Action Park, if you ask me. I mean, it has been wild to see Cinnaminson go from 0 to 100. They went, down in order for a lot of the innings. Cunnard looked like he could just have the world at his fingertips. But now Cinnaminson has a legitimate chance here in Game 1 of the Wild Card Series. Wind really picking up with the sun down. Just under 75 degrees, and talk about... Did we mention the wind? Oh, man. It's 0-1. I apologize, folks. We were doing so well. Well, I just have to keep an eye on that now that the wind is here to stay. Meredith, Waldron, and Wisman. 2, 3, and 4 in the 7th. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. It's doing it again. Oh, my. One ball, 2 strikes. Cunnard outside to Meredith. Meredith is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Waldron in the on-deck circle was 3 for 3 with 4 stolen bases the last time these two teams met at the beginning of the month of July. And he got the party started in the 6th inning with a base hit, came around to score. Strike 3 called. Upper half of the plate, and it's strikeout number 9 for the right-hander Cunnard. And there's one away. So here is Waldron. He is 1 for 3, a strikeout, a pop out to first, and a single. I mean, he is responsible for that rally starting in the bottom of the 6th inning. 4 straight hits. Look out. That one got a good piece of the parent contingency down there, the parent caucus. It's 0-1 on a beautiful night here in Cinnaminson. It was 82 degrees at first pitch. It's cooled down to 74 now. A nice midsummer evening for some great high-octane baseball. Popped up foul, and it's 0-2. And like we said, this is bad news for Cinnaminson that the wind is blowing in here, because if you get any of the power guys, you'd like to see that wind blow in the opposite direction. No balls, 2 strikes to Waldron. Although he doesn't need a lot of power with his bat, he needs a lot of power with his legs. Like we said, he had 20 stolen bases in the regular season. If he gets on, that'll be huge for the for the Crew. I keep wanting to say the Pirates because it's Cinnaminson, it's red and white. You know, it's just like the Pirates of Cinnaminson High School. Cunnard steps off. I'm really curious what his pitch count is. I mean, we don't have access to the team's game changers, but he's got to be up there with all the walks and the hits. This is unbelievable. And I don't think there's a pitch count cap. If you want to go far, you go far. You go, soldier. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Here in the ultimate playoff game, it's the wild card round, first game. Whoever wins tonight, well, it doesn't matter. It'll go to game 2 tomorrow night in Blackwood, as there's a ground ball into center field for a base hit. He put the ball on the ground, and he got it through. Now the question is whether or not Waldron will opt to steal. That's going to be a good question, because you do have Aiden Milligan, who is a strong arm behind the plate. And you never want to make any outs on the bases, but if you do, the cardinal sin of them all is doing it in the last inning of the game. Let's see what he's got. Strike called. I mean, like we said, Waldron at first, there's no first base coach down there, so whoever's at third might be giving him the signal of whether or not he should go. First baseman is holding him at the bag as that one's away, 1-1. I just don't think it's a good idea to steal. I think if you do, you better have a lot of confidence about it, because, again, Kennard's got a quick delivery, especially working from the stretch. This one's blooped into shallow center field. It's going to be caught. Now the runner's got to go back, and the ball game is over. A game-ending double play on a fly ball to center. Waldron was overrunning the bag. I thought he was too confident that that ball was going to drop. And the game ends on a fly ball double play. And Blackwood staves off Cinnaminson by a final score of 5-3. An 8-3 double play. Again, in a game where we thought that Blackwood was going to have control from the beginning, or not from the beginning, but because they had a 5-run lead in the 6th. Wow. A heartbreaking loss for Cinnaminson, and they'll have to wipe it all away tomorrow when they go to Sewell, to James Atkinson Park, for Game 2 of this series between Blackwood and Cinnaminson. Your player of the game is going to be Gavin Kennard, who came in, looked like he was good from the get-go. He went the complete distance. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts. He survives the 3-run comeback in the 6th and goes the entire distance. That'll be all for us tonight on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting as a fantastic game comes to a close. Blackwood tops Cinnaminson by a score of 5-3. Blackwood leads the series 1-0, and they'll go back to Atkinson Park tomorrow for a 7 o'clock first pitch. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Caleb Lane, Carson Rosso, and Fisher Giannotti, I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you tomorrow